What's up, everyone? Shakiel Mahjouri here for CBS Sports, and you know who this is. He is, in my opinion, the greatest fighter in Bellator history, finally making his UFC debut at UFC 314 against Yair Rodriguez, two-division Bellator champion Patricio Pitbull. How are you, sir?
Good, my friend. How about you?
I'm doing well. It's so weird. We've done this a number of times for Bellator, for PFL. How does it sound when you hear UFC fighter Patricio Pitbull?
Finally.
Yeah.
I feel great, my friend. That's a long time fighting for Bellator, and now I'm in the UFC. It's very exciting. So let's do it.
Let's do it. And what a amazing first opponent in Yair Rodriguez. When you look at Yair, where are you the most dangerous and where do you think he is the most dangerous?
Ele é mais perigoso na dinamicidade dele e principalmente chutando. E, porra, eu sou 12, 12, 12 no meu número. Eu não sei onde é que eu sou mais perigoso. Sou perigoso em tudo.
Uh, he's more dangerous for how dynamic he is and his kicks. And me, I'm dangerous everywhere. I have 12 wins by submission, 12 wins by KO, and 12 wins by decision. So I'm as dangerous in any aspect of the fight as the other.
How do you work around Yair's 6-inch height and 6-inch reach advantage?
Não, nesse longo período como peso pena, eu enfrentei inúmeros caras do tamanho dele, então é algo que eu já estou confortável. Mas é isso, ele gosta de espaço para chutar e eu vou fechar essa distância.
In all my years as a featherweight, I've faced many guys as tall and as lanky as him. So that won't be anything new to me. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna close the distance and annulate his kicks and put my game to work.
You seemed more energized when we first started talking than you have in the past. Is this how does it feel? Like, is it, are you excited to have this new experience? You were so synonymous with Bellator for so long that it feels kind of new and different seeing you here.
É desejo de todo lutador, né? Tá na maior plataforma do mundo, então comigo não é diferente. Eu tenho uma história com o Bellator de décadas aí, então apesar de me dedicar sempre ao extremo e fazer tudo que eu precisar para sair vitorioso em todas as lutas, tá de casa nova traz uma empolgação melhor. Então, preciso conquistar uma nova coroa. Isso me faz acordar mais motivado todos os dias. E na altura da minha carreira, isso é difícil de acontecer. Não que eu esteja desmotivado, mas me motiva mais ainda.
Yeah, I've been with Bellator for over 2 decades, so there was a lot of history there, and I had accomplished everything that I had to do. And being the UFC, the top platform for fighters in the world, is a dream of every fighter. When I was a kid, there was the UFC, and that's where I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be. There was in Bellator. So, uh, not that I lacked any motivation when I was in Bellator and winning my fights and all that, but now I have an opportunity at 37 years old to do something that I haven't done before, to get a new crown that I didn't have. So that keeps me extra motivated. Of course, getting that something new in front of me gives me a new energy.
Before now, when would you say is the closest that you came to signing with the UFC earlier in your career?
Nenhuma vez, eu nunca tive essa oportunidade. Essa é a primeira brecha que eu tenho no contrato foi essa.
Never. I
Mm-hmm.
never had that opportunity before. This was the first time that I had uh, space on my contract to do so.
If Alex Volkanovski or Diego Lopes falls out of the fight, who steps in? Is it you? Is it Yair?
Os caras do UFC têm o costume de ficar negando luta, de não aceitar luta em cima da hora. Eu só quero dizer que eu estou pronto. A qualquer hora que precisar de um replacement, eu estou dentro.
A bunch of UFC guys, they like to deny fights, not take fights last minute. I'm the opposite. So put the word out there. If they need me, I'm in.
I'm happy to hear that. I spoke to your son, Michael Chandler, a few weeks ago. I thought you'd like that.
He won't give you any interviews after this.
Yeah, Mike, you know I love you. I'm just playing around. He told me that he thinks a lot of the issues between the two of you came through sort of misinterpretation of language, that when he spoke about your brother, he meant to say nothing about anyone else in your family. He says that he does not want to fight you again. He says that he will shake your hand when he sees you. And he said that he might even apologize for what's happened in the past. I just wanted your response to that.
Eu não acho que teve uma má interpretação. Ele realmente falou que bateria na minha família naquela única noite. Ele sabe muito bem o que ele respondeu. Palavra dita e tapa dada não volta atrás. Eu apertaria a mão dele, aceitaria a desculpa dele, mas é isso. Somos profissionais e minha vontade é de lutar.
He knows what he meant back then. There was no mistranslation. He said he would beat my entire family. My entire family is my entire family, not just my brother. So he said what he said, and the words spoken and the slaps thrown, they never can be taken back. So if we meet, I'll be professional. If he wants to shake my hand, I'll shake his hand. I'll be cordial. But if we have the opportunity to fight, I will want to fight.
Okay, I like
in the cage. That's what he means.
Of course, in the cage. Patricio's a professional. We know this. Is there a sort of, you, Michael Chandler, Eddie Alvarez are guys who've come from Bellator and proven that Bellator fighters can be on the level of UFC fighters. Is there sort of like a shared spirit among you guys who maybe feel like you've been... Sorry, let me reframe that question. Is there a shared spirit when you're in Bellator or PFL that like, hey, we want to prove that we can fight at the UFC level? Is that something that you guys all share amongst each other despite your differences?
Não é pensamento que todo mundo faz junto ali, mas com certeza todos os lutadores de todas as outras organizações pensam nisso. LFA, Bellator, PFL, Rise, todo mundo quer se comparar com o cara que está sendo mais visto no mundo, né? Então, assim, o UFC tem a maior plataforma, é o maior divulgador do MMA, logo vai ter os lutadores mais reconhecidos ao redor do planeta. Então, todo mundo se compara.
Mas a pergunta é mais no sentido, assim, tipo, um sentido de orgulho com o Bellator e mostrar que o nível ali era a mesma coisa.
Se tem isso aí, tipo, combinado entre os lutadores, não tem.
Não combinado, um sentimento que vocês compartilham, entendeu?
Acredito que sim. Por isso que eu dei essa resposta.
Yeah, I believe we all share that sentiment because everyone used to say that when the top guy was the guy that had the title in the UFC. And that's no one as good outside. But you see, you have great fighters come from Bellator, from PFL, from LFA, from One, from Rising, from everywhere. It's not just the UFC that shares that has all the great fighters. And I think, yes, a little bit. I think when we move here, we want to show that what we're doing outside of DC was also worth it.
I'm very grateful for our last conversation. You were very honest about your 2 herniated discs and how your body would never quite be the same after surgery, although you are feeling good. What sort of concerns do you have to keep in mind now fighting at the UFC level after your surgery?
Me sinto bem, continuo treinando em alta performance, quebro ainda alguns recordes. Recentemente fiquei 25 minutos a treino de 5 rounds aqui. Eu estava treinando para 5 rounds ainda quando estava na expectativa de fazer para defender o cinturão do Bellator. Então, é difícil o lutador conseguir ainda fazer isso de maneira quando ele ainda é novo. Imagina eu com 37 anos ainda consegui fazer. Então, olhei no frequência lá, tinha 25 minutos. Então, quando estou batendo recordes fisiológicos, assim, desempenho físico, me comparo com grandes prospectos que a gente tem aqui na academia. Inclusive, estou com 3 sparrings novos e tenho segurado a onda com eles. Eu acho que é isso. Enquanto a gente estiver rendendo, quando a gente estiver fazendo um bom desempenho, dá para chegar lá e continuar fazendo um bom trabalho. Me sinto bem.
I feel great. Actually, I've still been training at the highest level, fighting at the highest level. We keep the score, the data of my tests on the gym, and I'm breaking my own records. I got my strength back after the surgery. I got my explosiveness back, and I'm still, not just I got it back, I'm better right now. And at 37 years old, so that's pretty impressive for me. When I was a little bit before I signed with UFC, I was still hoping to have a title fight, and I was training for a title fight for 5 rounds. And I look at the data. All the 25 minutes, I was performing at the highest condition that my body could go. My performance didn't drop. My rhythm, nothing of that dropped. Everything was at the peak during the 25 minutes. And let me tell you what, do everything like that in 25 minutes, not many people can do that. You have some space where you drop your performance, and I wasn't doing so. So I feel great, actually. I feel rejuvenated.
I'm very happy to hear that. Last question. What do you think it's going to feel like when you make that first walk to the UFC cage and hear Bruce Buffer say your name for the first time?
E eu, sinceramente, acho que vou ter muitas emoções em me concentrar na luta, porque vai ser algo assim que todo lutador sonha, né? Um momento único. Então, eu acho que é isso. Controlar as emoções para não dar merda na luta.
To be very honest with you, I feel like I will have to control my emotions to not let that affect me in the fight, because it's something that I always wanted to happen. So I'll be keeping my emotions in check for that moment, so I can do my best in the fight.
Okay, well, I hope after the fight you'll have a moment to reflect back and really soak it in. Patricio, I'd love to let you have the last word. If there's anything you want to tell your fans, the floor is yours, my friend.
Só agradecer, Matheus. Só agradecer os fãs e fica pronto aí que o novo rei da categoria chegou. O primeiro passo vai ser dado agora contra Yair Rodrigues, o cara que eu vou amassar, dia 12 de abril.
I just want to thank all the fans and tell them that the new king has arrived. The first step is going through Yair Rodriguez. I'm going to smash him, and then I'm going to fight for the title. Keep an eye on me on April 12th.